I think one of the things that makes second language programming successful in general is that there are a lot of structures set up to help it be successful. So from a provincial level, which is where education is governed in Canada, the province has set up expectations in terms of a mandated curriculum for bilingual language and cultural instruction. And so that the teachers have a common expectation of what kids are supposed to learn at what grade level and how we build on that. And so while sometimes we complain about how dense our curriculum is, I think it's a great gift to teachers because it gives them parameters that they have to do their work in. So I think that's really powerful. I think it's powerful that the curriculum document was developed for all bilingual programs, so that if you're learning Mandarin or if you're learning German or if you're learning Arabic, you're meeting the same benchmarks just in a different target language. So I think that's important. I think it's also important that as a district, because we've had this long experience of communities wanting language as a program of choice, and that the district has embraced that as a challenge, and that's why I think we have such a strong, diverse bilingual program across Edmonton Public Schools. And so, and a long history. So over 30 years of the German bilingual program, of the Ukrainian bilingual program, of the Mandarin Chinese program. And there's power in, again, because we're all trying to achieve the same outcomes, it's just the target language changes. So you create a power in how teachers can work together and how a district can support you. So we look at ISLI and the work that they do to support schools and consulting services previous to that. And so when you have someone like Norman, who's available to the teachers at the school, who in part of his job can look for, oh, have you seen this? Do you know this? Just to keep feeding the fire that is teacher understanding. The other strength of the organization is the whole feeder school idea, that when we set up a bilingual program in the district, we look at what the elementary schools are, and then what is the junior high it feeds into, and then what's the high school it feeds into, so that we're a family to choose. They can have a complete K to grade 12 experience. And again, for many of our target languages, know that you get internationally recognized credentialing at the end of it. And that's powerful too. That, again, often when people come in here to explore the kindergarten program, explaining to them that you can do this. And at the end of grade 12, if you were able to meet these standards, you will speak German well enough to attend a post-secondary institution in Germany. It's that you can do that. Living in Edmonton is an amazing thing. So all those structures and the culture of choice that is Edmonton Public Schools, I think, systemically sets up the program to have life and strength and to carry on, and for us to always do good work. So when you're the principal of a school that has a second language program, if you're sensible, part of it is you just capitalize on this culture of language learning. And so, and that you always want your school to be a school and not the German bilingual program and everybody else. And so it's very much about creating a common school culture, and that part of that culture is the German bilingual program, but everybody gets to celebrate in that. So certain German cultural events become just part of the culture of the school. So when our grade 1s comes next year, all the grade 1s in the bilingual program and in our regular program will get Schultüten prepared for them by the grade 5 children this year. And there'll be grade 6 children next year, and they will present them the Schultüten, and that we always put an explanation card on it. So when the Schultüte goes home with our regular program kids who's like, I don't know where, I got a cone full of stuff that's fun, that it explains that this is a tradition in Germany about how all these things happen. And so enjoying that is a good thing. One of my favorite stories is about Nicholas talk. So we always get, and everybody puts their shoe in the window. And I had a young boy named Nicholas who was in the regular program, and this was in his grade 6 year. So he had gone to this school his whole life. So he was all over Nicholas talk in a serious sort of way. And he's, so he sees me in the hallway, and I said, "Do you have your shoe out?" And he goes, "Yeah, I love Nicholas talk." And I said, "Well, of course you do." And I said, but why particularly? And he says, "You know those Pfeffernusse?" And he said Pfeffernusse, and again, that's not, so he said, "You know Pfeffernusse?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "Most of the kids in my class don't like them because he said, but I love them. So at Nicholas Talk, I get all their Pfeffernusse." And it's just part of that was part of what he knew and what he understood, and it just made me laugh. But it works both ways. So the kids in our regular program start French as a second language instruction starting at grade 4. French instruction in Western Canada has a bit of a negative. So when I went to school, and when many of these children's parents went to school, their French instruction was quite frankly boring. And so they carry a lot of baggage, which they put on our kids. And our second language teacher in French, it's a wonderful program. It's fun, it's exciting. The kids do all sorts of things. But we decided we needed to change the view about learning French. And again, we wanted to capitalize that this is a school culture where language learning is valued. So earlier this year, we had Fun with French Month. And so everybody in the building learned to sing O Canada in French. The kids in the grade 4, 5, and 6 class, we do video announcements. So they went on the video announcements. They taught basic phrases in French. And so one of the little kindergartens in the German bilingual class said, I'm gonna have to learn more French. When can I learn more French? But again, so he speaks English. He's in a German bilingual classroom and was enchanted by French. And it's knowing that language is an exciting thing to learn. That's, again, part of the culture you want to create, and you want it to work both ways so that kids see speaking another language besides English is valuable and useful and good for you, and gets us away from the North American arrogance or the English speaker arrogance that everybody in the world speaks English, so why do I have to learn another language? And so that's again part of what you want to create here. I think one of the strengths of the German bilingual program is collaboration among teachers. So in the building collaboration, so again, articulation as we go from the little grades up to the bigger grades, and because the teachers have been here so long, they know each other well and they know their students well. And so we were just doing some marking for something, and the grade 1 teacher walked by as the grade 2 teacher was talking about one of the students' assignment, and the grade 2 teacher was worried that the student hadn't shown, was still struggling. But the grade 1 teacher came by and went, "Who did that? Oh, that's amazing. Last year she couldn't have done that." And so again, we're able to help reflect back to each other that we do make a difference, that we're able to show growth, and so that being a strong community that's been together so long has that strength of knowing each other and knowing the clientele so well. There's also strong collaboration across the program. So the 3 elementary schools can do things together. I know that they're looking forward to working with you on Thursday after school to hear and learn from you. Over the 7 years that I've been here, there have been several times where we've created days for them to work together, again, to feed each other, I tried this is how it worked in my classroom, those things. We had a really successful day where we had everyone who taught in the German bilingual program from kindergarten through grade 12 in a room together and talking about the program and those things. And again, having the opportunity to do that makes it more powerful, makes it stronger as we go along. I also, and you were at the AGME meeting on Monday night, that there is a strong parent association that values this and supports it, does fundraising so that, again, resources can be purchased that don't have to come out of the school budget. But again, I can show you our strong library collection that we have that is in part funded by AGBE. There are resources in every classroom that AGBE's provided. They're not just about, we want this for our kids, but we want this for our kids and we're willing to work to support it and to help you and to highlight the program. So the whole mini World Cup thing is, again, the parents wanting to highlight the bilingual program to make it stronger. I think one of the interesting pieces in where a bilingual program sometimes needs extra support, or you have to think about it differently, is when provincial curriculum changes and it changes in a subject area that's taught in the target language. There's inevitably a lag of resources. So again, the province won't implement a program of studies change without knowing that resources are available for that to be taught in English. But if it's taught in the target language, then it's on school districts like ours that give instruction in that to figure out how are we going to get resources in place for teachers. And I think that's that lag, and having teachers having to work through that lag and translation work to be done and all those kinds of things. That comes with the extra piece that you always have to, okay, how does that impact the bilingual program? And you have to think it through. Again, when you're bigger, because it's going to impact every bilingual program the same way. But now you have to translate it into 10 different languages. So it's a manpower issue. It's all those things. So I think that's one of the struggles that you always have to be aware of and make some sense.